Quiz, the Empath. You've been listening to many of my videos. Good. It's the best information that you can find about all things to do with narcissism and narcissists. But have you been paying attention? Have you been listening keenly? It's now time to test your knowledge with 20 questions about you lot, the empath. Do you know the empath from your elbow? I'm now going to ask you 20 multiple choice questions. Have pen and paper handy or screen available to jot down your answers, or if necessary, utilize some of that fairy dust that you empaths have and scatter it into the correct letters in order to provide your answers. When you're ready, we shall begin. Question 1. An empath is someone who A. was normal, but trauma made them an empath. B. was a narcissist, but trauma made them an empath. C. is a bundle of empathic traits only. D. is a bundle of empathic and narcissistic traits. E. has a narrow field of emotional empathy. Question 2. The empathic supernova is A. a school of empath. B. a cadre of empath. C. a common response from all empaths. D. a rare response from all empaths. E. a response only from those who have elements of the super empath school. Number 3. Empaths have emotional thinking. A. only when with a narcissist. B. all of the time. C. some of the time. D. only if they are a contagion empath. E. only when in distress. Number 4. I am not going to come off social media. I do not see why I should, just because of him. When this comment is made by an empath, which one of the following statements applies? A. the corruption of the empathic trait of honesty. B. the corruption of the narcissistic trait of being argumentative. C. the corruption of the empathic trait of love devotee. D. the corruption of the narcissistic trait of defiance. E. the corruption of the empathic trait of moral compass. 5. The relationship between empaths and being manipulative is A. Empaths never manipulate. B. Empaths unwittingly manipulate. C. Empaths knowingly manipulate. D. Empaths frequently manipulate. E. Empaths instinctively manipulate. Number 6. The empath often fails at no contact because A. they lack the desire to achieve it. B. they cannot overcome their addiction to the narcissist. C. they do not understand what no contact really means. D. they let the narcissist come back willingly. E. they are misled by emotional thinking. 7. An empath who is behaving like a narcissist is A. really an unaware narcissist. B. suffering a reduction in emotional empathy. C. has caught narcissistic fleas. D. is engaging in mirroring. E. has gone supernova. 8. If an empath took exception to the work of H.G. Tudor, the empath would A. Keep attacking H.G. Tudor on his blog or YouTube channel. B. Smear H.G. Tudor elsewhere on the internet. C. Email H.G. Tudor to hold him to account privately. D. Decide his work is not for them and leave it be without incident. E. Write a detailed thesis attacking H.G. Tudor's work. 9. I need to know that the narcissist is feeling miserable. When an empath says that, what is happening? A. They are behaving like a narcissist. B. The empathic trait of honesty is being corrupted. C. Their narcissistic trait of vanity is being corrupted. D. Their empathic trait of justice is being corrupted. E. They are embarking on an empathic revenge campaign. 10. Which of the following is an empathic trait? A. Infidelity. B. Pride. C. Excellent listener. D. Contagion. E. Phoenixed. Phoenix. 11. A weaponized empath who is a remembrancer. A. Recalls all of the narcissist's failings. B. Remembers the best way to implement no contact. C. Knows how to defeat the narcissist from past behaviors. D. Laments the relationship with the narcissist. E. Remembers the vulnerabilities to their no-contact regime. 12. The most common school of empath is A. Total standard. B. Majority standard. C. Minority standard. D. Hybrid standard. E. Total geezer. 13. The empath is drawn to the narcissist because A. Of the narcissist's addiction to the empath. B. Of the empath's addiction to the narcissist. C. Of the empath's addiction to narcissists. D. Of his creed cologne. E. Of the concept of twin flames. 14. With regard to the empath's addiction to narcissists, A. It also applies to narcissistic individuals. B. It can be removed through total no contact. C. It is always present. D. It only activates when a narcissist comes near to the empath. E. It doesn't exist. 15. As an empath, you must A. Hide your status as an empath to avoid narcissists. B. Switch off your empathy to avoid narcissists. C. Use your empathic traits to wage war against the narcissists. D. Use your empathic traits to save other empaths. E. Realize your status is a permanent one. 16. Emotional thinking looks to corrupt in the empath A. Narcissistic traits first and foremost. B. The emotional empathy of the empath. C. Empathic traits first and foremost. D. The no-contact regime. E. The narcissistic trait of pride. 17. If the empath does not get an answer, they keep persevering because A. Being nosy is a hallmark of the empath. B. H.G. Tudor is being coy. C. The empath's rampant sense of entitlement. D. To know is to go. E. The effect of the empathic trait of truth-seeking. 18. Continuing to be upset over the terminated relationship with the narcissist is most likely because A. A manifestation of the weakness of the empath. B. A failure to impose no contact properly. C. The appearance of emotional thinking. D. A lack of fortitude by the empath. E. Because the narcissist is hoovering. 19. What is instinctive emotional empathy? A. Something everybody possesses. B. Putting yourself in the shoes of another person. C. Behaving in a particular way. D. Emotional intelligence. E. Recognizing behaviors and responding to them. 20. Starting with the most common school and ending with the rarest, which of these schools are in the correct order? You may have to listen to this final question a few times because there are a number of choices. So you may wish to write down these choices as I say them and then select the correct answer. So the question is, starting with the most common school and ending with the rarest, which of these schools are in the correct order? A. Standard, codependent, magnet, contagion. B. Standard, super, contagion, codependent. C. Normal, standard, codependent, super. D. Codependent, standard, contagion, super. E. Standard, codependent, super, contagion. F. Standard, codependent, contagion, super. G. Codependent, standard, super, contagion. Thank you for participating in this quiz. The answers will be provided in a separate video. Listen again if you wish to revisit the questions and ascertain whether you truly know the empath and see what your score is.